What is up, duelists? Arts and Crofts here today with your daily dose of Yu-Gi-Oh! Goat Format action. Today's feature match, we've got Ashes Spicy versus System. As always, both players rated in the top 200 on the Duelingbook Goat Format ladder at the time this match was played. If you watched my video yesterday, I kind of announced that I'm trying to collect people's, viewers' replays to maybe review in like a special episode of this series or something. So if you guys have cool replays of your own that you would want to get featured on YouTube, get some more eyeballs on it, definitely feel free to send them my way. Comment in the comment under the video with your replay link, or send them to me at on Discord to Arts and Crofts. I'm in the Goat Format .com Discord if you want to find me. But without any further ado, let's hop into this one. Little RPS action. Ashes Spicy gonna be able to go first here. Going to start off with a classic T-set pass, not giving away any information. System is going to go lead out with a Pot of Greed, so going up a card here. Quite nice. Into Reinforcement of the Army, so potential warrior strategy out here from System. And that's going to go ahead and grab a Mystic Swordsman level 2, one of the most common cards to go deal with these set monsters. So Ashes Spicy, if you've got a flip set here, you better hope that you have a way to protect it with the back row, otherwise it'll be hitting the grave. Going to get normal summon Mystic Swordsman, go in and attack the set, and it is just a set Tribe Infecting Virus, so a little bit of a tricky play here from Ashes Spicy. Maybe has a high value flip monster in hand that they're trying to bait out some interaction with. Unfortunately for them, Mystic Swordsman is reusable interaction, reusable set monster removal. So not really baiting anything out here. And they're just going to get, basically -2 this turn with the help of Pot of Greed plus Mystic Swordsman effect. And really on the back foot here, Tribe in the Grave too, which is quite a strong card against Warrior. So a little bit of a gambit, not really working out here for Ashes Spicy just yet. Still recoverable though. Couple back row set there from System. Ashes Spicy just going to fire off an Upstart Goblin into a Tsukuyomi, which can help recuperate some of that lost card advantage by beating over this Mystic Swordsman. System has a Sakuretsu armor, though. Warrior, of course, being a very battle-centric deck, so plays a lot of battle traps like main deck Sakuretsu. So yeah, just trading one for one there with the Tsukuyomi, maintaining the advantage. System probably has the read that they really want to protect this Mystic Swordsman as much as they can. Because otherwise Ashes, if Ashes Spicy didn't have a good flip that they wanted to resolve, they probably wouldn't have turn one set the Tribe Infecting Virus. So, and I think Tsukuyomi in hand makes that also more likely as well, because you really want your flip to resolve if you have Suk in hand to establish the Suk loop. So System here doing a good job protecting this Mystic Swordsman, probably preventing the play that Ashes Spicy is likely going for. They're just going to set a back row pass. Let's see, we're just going to flip summon Mystic Swordsman. We're going to add a Breaker the Magical Warrior, which does play into Torrential Tribute a little bit, but not always main decked nowadays. But it is going to hit the board. Ashes Spicy resolving this Torrential Tribute. Ooh, we got Solemn Judgment here. So System going for that Breaker play. Playing into Torrential there. But System felt safe to do so because they had the Solemn Judgment, of course, so protecting their board. And now Breaker can pop the other back row as well. So paying a lot of life for it, but definitely worth it to continue this push. Other back row is just a Jar of Greed that Ashes Spicy is totally fine resolving here. So Breaker not getting a ton of value, but pretty high value Solemn Judgment out of System to continue to apply the pressure. Gonna get hit in for 2,500. Add one back row to protect this board, and Ashes Spicy continually on the back foot here. But just looking to stabilize. Pot of Greed is a good way to start drawing back into stuff. Can equalize the pot that System was able to play before. And they're going to go into Mystical Space Typhoon, declare the back row, so maybe looking to go for another monster to beat over these and wants to make sure it connects. It's going to be a Ceasefire, though, so just going to chain that just to deal 1,000 damage to Ashes Spicy. Might as well. Kind of a nifty little card. Not the most amazing card, but it can do some cool stuff here in Goat format. Burning the opponent for 1,000 and trading for an MST is not too bad in this scenario. But now the back row is cleared out for Ashes Spicy to make a play here. Just gonna go T set or set a monster, set some back row, pass. So I'm not really sure if you really needed to go for that MST line there. I guess the idea is if that's like set just maybe you have some really high value back row. So okay, so here's my thought here. Ashes Spicy, I think we know they probably have a high value flip here, like a spy or a Magician of Faith, is my guess. And they really want, we know that because of the setting tribe turn one, the fact that they had Tsukiyomi making a little bit more likely, right? And so now that you're kind of down a bunch of cards, now that the game is sort of simplifying, that might be the only play you can go for now, but you really need to make sure that you can protect it from this Mystic Swordsman. So, and we know that warrior decks generally like to play like main deck Dust Tornado, MST, of course. So maybe just wanting to clear it out just to make sure that whatever stuff they're going to set to protect their set monster from this Mystic Swordsman will be able to survive. I think that's probably what they're going for there. Seems smart to me. Let's see what's going to happen. We're going to get normal summon DD Warrior Lady, so system, you don't have Torrential to worry about anymore, but Mirror Force is definitely still a card. Just going to send it in with everything. We're going to go Mystic Swordsman attack. We have Book of Moon to set the Mystic Swordsman, so that was the out. And maybe you're hoping that now, if this is Gravekeeper Spy, I think this works, because you kind of recoup the card if they attack into it with the search. And then your spies face up, you have a double spy wall, which is very good against Warrior. It's tough for them to deal with that without like a Ninja Grandmaster. But we'll get the DD Warrior Lady attack in. Oh, so it was a Magician of Faith. Okay. So they were trying to establish the Faith plus Sook loop earlier on this game, which is of course quite strong. Having to expend the book here to set the Mystic Swordsman, it does mean that they're not going to get full value off of this Faith grab Pot of Greed, but grabbing Pot is of course quite nice. You're going to take 1,600 from this breaker though, which will drop you down pretty low, down to 29. But able to, really kind of angle themselves, finally resolve this Faith, which they were kind of trying to do pretty much all game. So achieving that, but hasn't really brought you out of the hole too much yet. They're going to be able to resolve this pot here, though, which is pretty nice. And maybe that was just what they need to start turning the corner here. Going to go Nobleman of Crossout on the Mystic Swordsman. So Mystic Swordsman getting a lot of value here. Popping that tribe earlier. Eating a Book of Moon and eating a Nobleman of Crossout is pretty strong. But, when you're playing, especially post or pre-side against Warrior, and you still have your Nox in, you might as well just use it any chance you get. And now any set monster that you play is going to be a little bit safer now that the Mystic Swordsman's gone. So I'm going to go add another set monster to the board, add a back row as well. So not too bad, just really trying to stabilize here. System has the beaters coming in, Sangan's going to add to it as well, make their board a little bit more Mirror Force proof now that there's a new set. Going to lead in with that DD War Lady, and it is the Mirror Force, okay? So a little bit of card advantage here from Ashes Spicy. Nice board wipe. And system is going to get the search off of the Sangan. Grabbing an Exiled Force to deal with the set. But things are looking pretty good here from Ashes Spicy at this point. Kind of clawing their way back into this game, Pretty typical, like, assuming this is Chaos Turbo versus Warrior stuff, where Warrior's on the aggressive early. You just kind of have to sit back and try and absorb the pressure and find an opportunity to stabilize. And finding that Mirror Force at a pretty crucial time, you may be able to just stabilize here at 2,900 life points. System grabbing the Exiled Force, but they did already use their normal summon for the turn on Sangan. So this set monster is going to be able to stick around. And Magician of Faith is quite good to grab Pot of Greed. Could be a Gravekeeper Spy. Could be some good stuff here. System just going to set a back row pass. Ashes Spicy, going to be able to resolve Gravekeeper Spy. Quite nice. We're going double attack position, though. So looking to get in saying this is the time that I'm going to start going aggressive. Going for the upstart goblin as well. Okay. Yeah, so flipping spy before going upstart in case you accidentally draw another spy. You know, minimal percentage point gain there, but I think it's probably correct. The only thing I could think of is, and it's pending on what other cards are in your hand. Maybe you want to upstart before spy if there's a chance that based on what you draw, it'll affect the position you summon the second one in. Because that's actually probably more relevant than like the very small chance that you have to draw the second spy. Um, but stuff to think about, and obviously, Ashes Spicy could very well be correct based on what else is in their hand. But we got the spy here in attack position. Gonna go get in for 24. Drop system down to 31. Add another set monster to the board as well. And yeah, so this is Turbo doing what it does against aggro decks. We fully stabilized for the most part. Now you're the one clocking your opponent, and Warrior does not like to be in this sort of situation. Just hasn't, had good early pressure, but running into a Mirror Force, that'll do it, right? Now let's see. Still has the Exiled Force in hand that we know about to potentially pop this set monster. But Ashes Spicy knows that the Exiled is in hand. I guess it could be like, if you're Ashes Spicy, you could even just set something real into the known Exiled Force, because system would have to use their normal summon to do that, and then make it less likely that they have anything to wall out your spies. So it could be an aggressive play to just go for a real set here. You don't necessarily have to be like trying to bait out the Exiled on like by setting a Sangan or a Sinister Serpent or something. Something the more conservative route. But I don't hate just setting something real here. And this is what makes it really tough for system. Like this is one of the perfect places to play mind games like this, because it's really tough for system to navigate and figure out exactly what to do with their Exiled here. Because both choices from Ashes Spicy are pretty reasonable. So we're going to go, okay, we're going to go slam down Chaos Sorcerer. So this is maybe a little bit of a Chaos Warrior list here. Kind of cool to see. And yeah, so it has the Light and Dark Engrave. DD Warrior Lady actually serving as a Light Engrave, which you don't see every day, but it was popped by a Mirror Force, so acting as the light there. I always like to think when you're, building a deck, and you have your Chaos monsters, you always want to like think about, okay, what's my light count? What's my dark count, right? How often am I going to be able to have my Chaos monsters enabled? It's good to think about DD Warrior Lady as like half of a light monster, because of course most of the time she's going to be banished due to her own effect. But the other 50% of the time, roughly, she will hit the grave, and that ends up mattering this game because of the Mirror Force. So DD Warrior Lady acting as a light there. Not using Prio, so opportunity for Ashes Spicy to maybe like Raigeki break this Sork or something. Going for damage here, though, I think that's fine with Warrior. You want to try and push through some damage here. And notably, you still have Ring around, so Sork attack over Spy plus Ring is game. So I don't mind this play. Then we're going to go normal summon Exiled, pop the set monster, which was the third Gravekeeper Spy. Okay, so makes Ashes Spicy's play of upstarting before flipping or after flipping Spy make a little bit more sense, because they had the second of their 3 spies in hand. So if you accidentally draw the third one, then your spy is just super dead. And also makes it a little bit better to go for attack position spy, because you have another defense position one to still wall out the opponent, preventing direct attacks at least. But so Exiled here is able to blow up the defense position spy, which isn't too bad. And now Sork will go attack over Spy and set up for maybe a ring kill. We're going to get Raigeki break out of Ashes Spicy here, though. Discarding a pretty much dead Nobleman of Crossout. Not too much use for that against Warrior. We saw it used on a Book of Moon Mystic Swordsman earlier, so if that gives you any inkling of how often you'll find use for this card. But discarding it to Raigeki break, definitely pretty good here, especially when you're blowing up a Chaos Sorcerer that was about to plus on you anyway. It is negative in cards. Ooh, but we've got Solemn Judgment here to protect the Sorcerer. You drop down to 1550, but you can still preserve your Sork on the board. You can kill one spy, threaten to kill or banish the other spy next turn. Yeah, you don't really have to worry about getting Darks Engraved, so going for the damage here I think is totally fine. And system, you found a decent play there. Exiled plus Chaos Sorcerer. Turns out Chaos Monsters are pretty good. And now you have a win con stuck on the board, and Asher Spicy is in near top deck mode. So you're probably pretty happy about this with system. It was looking a little bit dicey after that Mirror Force. But you see the strength of running Chaos stuff in Warriors. Uh, BLS, of course, is an auto include. But, adding the Sork, which not every deck does, gives you a little bit higher of a top end. It can help you grind out some of these longer games. And yeah, probably one of the best cards in the deck to have drawn in that scenario to be able to play here. So pretty nice, especially when you have Solemn Judgment to back it up as well. Ash is Spicy here. Let's see. Ooh, looks like you got Chaos on your own. Just top decked it. Didn't shuffle the hand, so we know that. Has the Light and Dark Engrave. Sork banished. Going to use Prio to banish the opponent's Sork. Spy can get in for 12, put the opponent down to 350, so almost any monster in the deck will kill it. They're going to set another monster pass, and top deck Chaos Sorcerer, turning games around since, 2004, whenever it was printed. Ooh, okay. System, though, we're just going to go slam down Kaiku. We're going to snatch steal the Chaos Sorcerer. Okay. This is potentially big. I guess you have the choice here. Do you want to do Kaiku, kill Spy, banish their darks? They don't have any lights engraved, though, so you don't really need to guarantee you hit in with the Kaiku. You could just go Sork beat over the set monster, Kaiku over the Spy. I think that's probably fine. Well, I guess there's not a lot of defense position monsters that Kaiku doesn't kill here, though. So you might as well go for more damage. Go Sork beat over the Spy, Kaiku kill the second one. I think that's fine. Because you don't really need the Kaiku trigger here. Yeah. We're going to go Kaiku kill the Spy, though. Sure. Just to banish some stuff. Yeah, I don't think that really matters. I kind of would have preferred the higher damage option, but especially because if Hash is Spicy, seem to just be playing pretty standard turbo here. In which case they're not playing premature recall, so banishing the tribe if you're going to go for this makes even less sense to me, right? But yeah, Sork is going to go attack over the other set monster, which is a Magician of Faith, which is pretty huge. So Ash is Spicy, probably just going to grab that Pot of Greed. You could grab the MST to pop the Snatch Steal potentially. Although if you do that and oh no, system already normal summon this turn. I was going to say if you do that and then Tsukiyomi's in hand from system, that would be a huge beating, but system normal summoned Kaiku this turn, so you would definitely get the opportunity. Well, actually, no. I mean, in that case, Book of Moon is still good because system could just set it and then book the Sork in response to the MST. MST still could very well be the play here, though. It's just, I'm just saying, you get super hard punished by Book, so maybe you just go for a slightly more, normally picking a card you can use is more conservative than snagging Pot of Greed, and drawing into 2 unknown cards, but you get +2. But maybe grabbing Pot is actually a more conservative play here because it doesn't just lose to Book of Moon. We'll see what Asher Spicy chooses to grab, though. I think it's an interesting choice. Gonna go for the MST, so gonna say, hey, I hope you don't have Book of Moon. System is gonna set one, though, so it is possible. Asher Spicy gonna be able to gain 1,000 life points here, which is quite nice. We're gonna go MST on Snatch Steal. Show me Book. No, okay, so Sorg is gonna be able to move back over to Asher Spicy's side of the field. Attacking over Kaiku is game, but you also have to worry about potential Sakuretsu armor or Mirror Force, of course. So do you want to go for the game shot, or are you going to play it kind of slow? We're just going to go ahead and banish the Kaiku. So, yeah, not trying to get too aggressive here. Going to add a set monster as well, so when you have another threat, I think, yeah, playing it safe with the Sork is probably fine. It does give system another chance to draw, though. They draw Zombira the Dark, so very important for Ashes Spicy that they kept their Chaos Sorcerer in attack position here. Otherwise, the Zombira could beat over it. Yeah, interesting. So main deck Zombira, not something you see every day, but definitely is a very good card in the format. Now, the interesting thing, though, if you go Zombira, kill the set monster, Zombira gets powered down to 1900. That is lethal if Sorcerer decides to beat over it, right? But if System goes for that play, it's almost telegraphing that you have like a Mirror Force or Sakuretsu armor set, because otherwise you would really need the extra life points, or the extra attack on Zombira to shield your life points. So we're going to go Zombira, attack the set monster. Ooh, it's Magician of Faith. Number 3. So Ashes Spicy running the triple faith technology here. Once again, similar choice between grabbing MST or grabbing Pot of Greed. They went for the MST last time. Gonna grab the MST again this time, so saying I don't need the pot, I just need to clear out the back row. Go for game. I mean, if it is Sakuretsu armor or Mirror Force, it's just game. Sabira goes down to 1900, and yeah. So here it is, MST, pop the back row. Yeah, and so potentially was a Sakuretsu armor that they were planning on having protect against on Chaos Sorcerer swing. So Ashes Spicy likely making the right call by banishing the Kaiku last turn instead of beating over it with the Sork. Waiting until they could get another MST to clear out the back row to go for the game shot cleanly. And quite well played there from Ashes Spicy. Absorbed the early pressure against Warrior. Was able to stabilize, resolve some Gravekeeper spy action. System had one last little push after resolving that Chaos Sorcerer of their own and with the Snatch Seal, but Ashes Spicy resolving 3 Magician of Faiths in a game is quite strong, and was able to use, the advantage from that to really seal the deal. So we're going to go to game 2 here. System on this probably Chaos Warrior sort of list is going to be able to go first. Going to lead out just with the little set monster, set a couple back row pass. Because it's more of a Chaos flavored version of Warrior, I think it's probably a little bit more likely that they're running real flips like Faith and Gravekeeper Spy, but definitely could just be like a set DD Warrior Lady or a Sangan or something that we know System's playing. Ashes Spicy has to make kind of an interesting call of, do you keep in set monster hate or anything? You didn't see anything game 1, but Warriors do like to be a little bit tricky with their side deck stuff sometimes. So maybe you hedge your bets, like leave in a single knock or take out the knocks but put in a mind control or something like that, because at least mind control deals with chaos monsters. We're just going to go straight to main phase 1. Slam down a heavy storm, though. That's going to get solemned, which is a little bit rough. So System here setting Solemn and one other back row, and then basically being forced to Solemn just to protect the one card, which makes you think maybe just don't set the Solemn here and let the heavy trade 1-for-1. I don't know, unless this back row is like something really, really good, but what's going to be this amazing turn 1 in a Warrior deck? It's not like it's... Well, it's not Trap Dust Shoot, otherwise it would have been used, right? And yeah. So a little bit unfortunate there, running their Solemn into Heavy Storm this early. They do keep this back row, so you're basically saying, I need to get a ton of value out of this back row that I protected. Otherwise, I'm just going to be decently far behind. Ashes Spicy, you're going to set a monster and a couple back row pass. System here has a reinforcement of the army. Okay, not flipping up their set monster just yet. Going to go for that good old Mystic Swordsman level 2. Quite a good card against Chaos Turbo. Well, then we're going to go ahead and normal summon Exiled Force instead, though, which is a little bit odd. You think if you were going to go for the sequencing, you might as well just do the Exiled play first. So that way Ashes Spicy has a little bit less information about what's in the hand. Because now they know you have additional ways to deal with set stuff, which they might not have known prior. We are going to get the Exiled effect come through, pop the set. It is a Dekoichi, so not the best thing, not the worst thing to hit off the Exiled, but, keeping Ashes Spicy a little bit behind on tempo is totally fine. We're going to go flip summon Sangan. Okay, so System with the set Sangan turn 1. And now this is a nice little 1,000 damage every turn, which I'm not going to pass up. Pass in turn there as well, still with that one back row that got protected by the Solemn. Really interested to see what it is. Ashes Spicy, we got Dust Tornado. Yeah, hey, you got to think they really wanted to protect it, so might as well hit it with that Dust Tornado. And it's a Needle Ceiling. That is kind of spicy. Not a card you see every day played in Goat format. It's definitely playable. I guess the idea is it's like a... oftentimes Chaos Turbo decks side into like Scapegoat stuff, in which case it's pretty good, right? It's also, when you're running Sangan to up the monster count at no risk to you, that's also quite nice. When Gravekeeper spies are floating around, the monster count on board can get pretty high. But yeah, running Needle Sealing, that was the Ace Up system sleeve, but it's just going to, unfortunately for them, get hit by the Dust Tornado here. Now the back row is clear for Ashes Spicy to make a play. We're going to get Set a Monster Pass. All right. System has a Breaker the Magical Warrior coming in here with a potential back row target. I'm going to run it out and hits a Mirror Force. Nice. So high value trap to clear out with the Breaker, getting some good value there. I'm going to start attacking in with these monsters. Ooh, and has an Element of Crossout too to punch in for direct damage. Naka's going to banish a Gravekeeper Spy too, which is huge. This is a massive turn for System, despite having to burn their Solemn and getting their Needle Sealing Dust Tornado last turn. Oof. This is pretty good. They have Breaker, Pop Mirror Force, Knock for the Gravekeeper Spy, Beaten for 2,600. And yeah, Ashes Spicy, you're way behind now. Pretty massive turn for System. And this is a real clock, for sure. And it's an annoying clock to deal with as well, because Sangan is hard to remove profitably. Breaker's already gotten its effect off, so even if you remove it, he's, still already plussed. So really nice stuff here from System so far. Ashes Spicy has a Tribe Infecting Virus in hand, though. Okay, so we're going to go discard a Chaos Sorcerer, which was dead. No Lights in Grave for Ashes Spicy. Tribe is just going to call Spellcaster and pop the Breaker. And then we're going to go ahead and beat over the Sangan. We'll see what System's targets in the deck are. We've already seen the Exiled. We've seen the Mystic Swordsman. Could always just grab like a DD Warrior Lady or something. Yeah, System's going to take 600, and then Sangan can search up... Ooh, a Magician of Faith. So is playing real set monsters here, which is pretty nice. Ashes Spicy definitely may not have kept in their knocks, so potentially abusing that common siding pattern in the matchup. Ashes Spicy does have a back row here, though, but unless it's a Nobleman of Crossout or a Mind Control, you may not have an out for this Magician of Faith. Although Faith doesn't really have any crazy targets in Grave. Knock when Ashes Spicy has no set monsters is fine. Rhoda could be cool, but there's also like, I guess maybe you needed a light, right? Yeah, maybe you needed a light that has a good chance of hitting the Grave, and that's why you grab Faith here. Because my idea is like, if your plan is just to go Faith, grab Rhoda and Rhoda for something, like whatever your Rhoda target's going to be, you can probably just grab off the Sangan most of the time, right? Unless you want like Blade Knight, I guess. But we know System is on Chaos monsters, including Chaos Sorcerer, so fetching a light here, I think, makes a lot of sense. We do just have normal summon Kaiku, though, which is quite strong. Ashes Spicy got a couple Darks in Grave, beats over the Tribe quite nicely. So gonna get in for 200 and banish those Darks. So pretty nice turn there out of System. And yeah, Ashes Spicy super on the back foot here. Kaiku bearing down on them. Looking a little bit less likely to stabilize than we saw in game one. But System just had that really backbreaking turn. One of the key ways to stabilize in this matchup is Turbo resolving a Gravekeeper Spy. So anytime Warriors can successfully knock a Spy, you're feeling really good. Got End Phase Dust Tornado just to pop the back row. It was Rhoda number 2. So yeah, that Faith, not even getting a ton of value here, even if it was played, because System just had the second Rhoda anyway. Ashes Spicy still has this Kaiku to deal with. Set a monster in its way, pass. Ooh, and yeah, that Mystic Swordsman that we knew about in hand is just going to come down. And, yep, there you go. Pop a Sangan. Okay, so Ashes Spicy can go and grab Tsukuyomi. Is actually really strong here because it deals with both the Kaiku and the Mystic Swordsman, and you have a decent amount of life points such that you can tank some hits here. Kaiku is going to get in for 18, banish the last remaining monsters in Grave, but Tsukuyomi here is going to be quite nice to deal with this board unless System has something to protect it. We know Magician of Faith is the card in hand, so back row needs to be a Sook out, or else it, Ash of Spicy has found a window back into the game, essentially. Draws Graceful Charity, too, as well. Pretty nice top deck this late into the game. No Solemn out of system. Just going to go ahead. Okay, we're going to discard Thunder Dragon and Ring of Destruction. So finally gets a Light Engrave, but unfortunately having to discard a Thunder Dragon before being able to plus off of its effect. You'd rather draw TD into Graceful instead of the other way around, of course. So keeping the Tsukuyomi and then one other unknown card here. I guess Ring, when you're down this low on life, is not as appetizing as it would be otherwise. Let's see. Tsukuyomi's just going to come down. We're going to go and beat over this Kaiku. Oh, we're actually going to attack over the... Okay, never mind. Yeah, that was just a little bit of Duelingbook weirdness because system killed the Kaiku before the attack was declared. But Tsukuyomi is going to come down, flip down the Kaiku, and then beat over it in the battle phase. And then keeping a back row off of this Graceful Charity with the threat of Tsukuyomi coming down next turn to deal with this Mystic Swordsman. So Ash with the Sangan Search Sook plus the top deck Graceful Charity has maybe found a way to claw their way back into this one. But system still has a little bit of board presence. We got End-Phase Dust Tornado to pop the back row. Really strong, as you know they kept it off Graceful, so it's got to be something pretty nice. Ooh, and it's a Widespread Ruin, yeah, so hitting a Battle Trap there. Pretty solid. Not an out to Tsukuyomi, but definitely could top deck some good stuff here. Just going to get in for 900 with the Mystic Swordsman. Probably set that Magician of Faith. We're going to set a back row as well. Okay. Cool, so Ash is Spicy. You could deal with the Mystic Swordsman, but Faith for Rhoda could grab... We know at least they have DD Warrior Lady in deck to go for game, so you got to be ready for that. Upstart Goblin, just to dig. Desperately trying to find an out for this Faith. And just going to concede, yeah. Saw the writing on the wall. Like I said, the play is flip Magician of Faith. Even if you go Tsukuyomi, beat over the Mystic Swordsman, the system can just go flip Magician of Faith, grab Rhoda for any monster with at least 1500 attack, and attack for game. So game 2 there, system on this Chaos Warrior strategy is going to take it down. Able to apply really good pressure early on, secure the Nobleman of Crossout on a Gravekeeper Spy to remove, basically one of the strongest cards in the deck for Ash's Spicy in the matchup. And then just was able to continuously apply pressure from then on out. Game 3, though, Ash's Spicy gets to go first on the turbo strategy, so a little bit of a tempo advantage to maybe, not allow system to get as strong of a foothold here. Ash's Spicy going to lead out with that Thunder Dragon, so going up about half a card here, and then we're going to go T-Set Pass. Not bad. We're going to get Standby Phase, Mystical Space Typhoon, popping a Sakuretsu Armor. Okay, so Ash's Spicy very much on the battle traps here. We saw Saku's, we've seen Widespread Ruin. But back row is clear here for system. Show me the Mystic Swordsman again. Yeah, there it is. Mystic Swordsman level 2. Absolute all-star for system so far this match. Going to be able to proc its effect on this set monster, which is a Magician of Faith with no spells engraved. So a little bit of an interesting move here from Ash's Spicy going for that play. Potentially wanting to bait something out. It makes me think they most likely have like a Gravekeeper's Spy in hand that they really want to resolve. But unfortunately, kind of like game 1, not a lot. Well, they had the Sakuretsu armor to protect the Faith, I guess. But getting hit with MST ends up a nice little plus here for system, just popping that Faith. But they're Mystic Swordsman. And just like game 1 again, even though you're trying to bait out some set monster interaction by setting something you value a little bit less turn 1, Mystic Swordsman is reusable, right? It'll still threaten any other set monsters you have, so... Got to find a way to deal with it if you want to, resolve your other set monsters. Add a back row pass. Ash's Spicy Heavy Storm clear out the back row. Just it's a creature swap. Oh, interesting. Okay, so system is playing something a little cheeky here. Creature swap can be quite nice, though. And so clearing out the back row, I guess if you want to resolve a Graceful, good to heavy first, because system is rocking Solemn Judgments. So Graceful will come down, going to discard those Thunder Dragons, cash them in the classic +1 combo. And now with a nice full grip of cards in hand, we're going to go set to back row pass. So not dealing with the Mystic Swordsman just yet. It's only 900 damage a turn though, so not a huge threat. Um, System, let's see. We've got Breaker again. Man, they found Breaker. They've got Mystic Swordsman. This has been the duo for System so far this match. And you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Breaker's gonna hit the board, gonna try and pop one of the sets, a little 50-50 action. And it is a scapegoat. So Ashes Spicy is on the goat technology, so actually more of a chaos control is coming out here, likely sided in potentially, but able to resolve that is pretty nice. System's got to be thinking, hey man, where's my needle sealing? Right? Scapegoat is going to get chained to the breaker activation, protecting their life points quite a bit. And then we're just going to kill 2 of the goat tokens, but preventing any damage. And yeah, you're pretty happy about this if you're Ashes Spicy, I think. Just going to go set a monster pass here as well. System going to kill the last 2 goat tokens, though, but we have Mirror Force here to get big value. Set System crazy amount behind here. Big tempo swing, amongst other things. Big card advantage swing as well. Keeps your 2 Go tokens alive as well for potential like Metamorphosis plays in the future. And then main phase 2, we're just going to get normal summon Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke for System, just so they don't waste their normal summon for turn. But unable to attack with it, it's kind of just a sitting duck for potential interaction. We're going to try and set a back row maybe to protect it, but that'll get end phase sniped by the Dust Tornado. And it was the needle sealing. Okay, so coming through a little bit too late. I guess you wouldn't have wanted to use it. You wouldn't have wanted to use it when you still had all your stuff on board anyway, so not the end of the world. But yeah, needle sealing still not able to go off here. Cool card, love seeing the spice like this. But unfortunately, Ashes Spicy has the Dust Tornado again to deal with it. And they're going to use Dust Tornado's secondary effect to set another back row, which could be quite nice. So let's see what the plan is. Just going to draw past, so that setting the back row didn't end up mattering too much. Ninja Grandmaster standing alone, but might get a friend here with this reinforcement of the army resolution. Going to go grab DD Warrior Lady. Okay. We're going to go summon that DD Warrior Lady. Kill the 2 goat tokens. We got Sakuretsu armor to deal with the Ninja Grandmaster, though. Choosing to pop that rather than the DD Warrior Lady. I guess the idea being that Ninja Grandmaster is one of the best ways for the Warrior deck to deal with Spy, which, as we saw in Game 1, and inversely in Game 2, is a very key card for Turbo and Chaos Control in this matchup. So yeah, choosing that target there. DD Warrior Lady is strong, but just kind of in its versatility, more so than Ninja Grandmaster being like a key counter to a very important card in the matchup. But DD Warrior Lady still going to be able to kill 1 monster, threatening to clear out the last Go token next turn. But if you're, you know, this deep into the game and you haven't taken any damage as a Chaos Control player against Warrior, I think you're probably pretty happy with that. Ashes Spicy going to set a back row pass. We got Spirit Reaper coming in here for System. So another really good card here in this matchup. Start ripping cards out of Ashes Spicy's hand. It's kind of tough to deal with. So not a lot of damage, of course. So if you want to go DD Warrior Lady, kill the token, Spirit attack directly, you are giving up on 1,200 points of potential damage. But at this point, you'd probably rather take the card, is my guess. You know you don't have Mirror Force to worry about either, so totally fine doing this. So we're gonna go DD Warrior Lady, kill the token. Let's see. We're going to get Book of Moon here to set down the DD Warrior Lady. So basically, Ashes Spicy saying that I value the cards in my hand more than this Book of Moon. So I'm going to get -1 no matter what. I just rather lose this book than anything else. Spirit Reaper is just going to clear out the token. And but System here clawing their way back into this one, despite getting Mirror Forced early. Seems like Ashes Spicy is a little bit bricked, they're saying in chat, even after resolving TD plus Graceful. Had nothing to really pair with their Scapegoat. And that's kind of the thing with these Chaos Control lists sometimes, you know, when your deck reliant on, you know, Chaos Monsters filling up the grave with exact attributes. Notably, Ashes Spicy has no Dark Monster in grave, for example, right? So definitely could be some Chaos stuff chilling in hand. Or if all you have is like Scapegoat without any creature swaps or Metamorphosis to use with it, that's another way you can just kind of brick and slowly get whittled away in, and that might be exactly what we're seeing here. Ash draws Upstart for turn, just digging for any amount of interaction. Gonna set a couple back row pass, but Spirit Reaper still threatening to come in and rip out more cards from hand. Now, system does have to potentially play around Torrential Tribute here. We do know Ashes Spicy is running that. We saw it in game 1. But even if you get Torrential here, it's kind of not the end of the world. And you want to start applying the pressure here. So we're going to get Flip Summon DD Warrior Lady. Yeah, no Torrential. Just beat in for 1800. But we got Ring on the Reaper there. So still protecting their hand. Reaper getting good value here. Forcing out a book and a Ring. So +1ing, just never really connecting its effect, but just the threat of Reaper is sometimes enough to make your opponent make, negative trades in your favor. DD Warrior Lady is going to stick around here once more, though, and will it finally connect for damage? Yes, so Ashes Spicy going to drop down to 6,200. First blood here for system, finally, and still has the threat on board as well. Ooh, and we're going to summon Kaiku main phase too? I'm not sure how badly you needed to do that. Or if this was your plan all along, like, I feel like there's no way Ashes Spicy doesn't Torrential when you flip summon DD Warrior Lady, right? So if you're choosing not to play around Torrential, and if you already tested for Torrential, you might as well normal summon the Kaiku, right? Because you have no Mirror Force to play around. So I feel like you should have just normal summoned Kaiku main phase 1 and tried to hit in with the Kaiku and banish some of their lights and stuff. That seems really strong. Just summoning out here in main phase 2 doesn't really do a lot. It makes Snatch Steal really good against you. It's not like you're really turning off any chaos because Ashes Spicy struggled to get any Darks Engrave. So kind of an odd play there. But does go for it just to get the Floodgate effect out and not waste their normal summon for the turn, is I guess the idea, but potentially missing an opportunity to get in a little bit more damage there and start whittling away the graveyard. Ashes Spicy, though, has the Tsukuyomi here. Yeah, so we're just running Kaiku out. As a sitting duck, no monsters to protect it. Suk can just go ahead and beat over the Kaiku. Yeah, and that seems like a pretty big play there in favor of Ashes Spicy. Now, nicely for system, DD Warrior Lady is Tsukuyomi proof with that nice beefy 1600 defense. So DD Warrior Lady will continue to apply pressure here. But man, you would have really loved to connect with a Kaiku there, dealing 1800 instead of just running it into a Tsukuyomi for nothing. Yeah, and DD Warrior Lady still going to be able to apply some pressure. Just going to pass, though, so neither player really has too much going for them. System does have Chaos enabled in Grave. Ashes Spicy. Ooh, we normal summon Breaker the Magical Warrior. Going to keep the token on, no back row to pop. Going to beat over the DD Warrior Lady. It is going to get banished, which is quite key because Breaker is a dark monster. But System's threat has now been dealt with, and they didn't play a monster last turn, which, so, you got to think they don't really have too much going on in terms of pressure in the hand. Also, they are just going to run out Tribe Infecting Virus as a 1600 vanilla, but Ashes Spicy has Tsukuyomi in hand, so if you have no out to Suk, this is really, you're just trading a card for 1600 damage potentially. It does make any potential set Scapegoat a lot worse out of Ashes Spicy, which maybe is what they're thinking. But I hope you have a back row to protect it. Okay, so we are going to set something. End phase MST, though, is going to come through. Pop that ring. Yeah, so the plan was to ring the Tsukuyomi. But now Ash can continue to just stabilize thanks to this Tsukuyomi just being really, really strong against Warrior, as it always is. Yeah, so Suk going to come down, kill the tribe, set a back row pass. System, you only have 3,100 more damage to deal, which isn't too bad, but unfortunately just getting plus to death by the Tsukuyomi so far this game, it's going to be a little bit tough. Let's see. Draw pass, yeah, running out of gas. Ashes Spicy, set a monster pass. System sends out an Exiled Force, okay. So we're going to use that to potentially, ooh, okay. Interesting. So we're going to go normal summon Exiled Force, knock the set monster, beat in with Exiled, and then have it get killed by Tsukuyomi next turn. Is that the play? Oh, ooh, they knocked Oh, Ash is spicy. Setting the Tsukuyomi to potentially block damage. I guess you're really worried about Sork or BLS coming through. Sork slash BLS slash monster. Or Sork slash BLS plus monster would kill you. Oh, that feels so bad though. Especially because I feel like you knew system didn't really have any of that going on. Like if they had another monster, they would have played it last turn. If you had chaos in hand, they probably would have played it at some point. So Tsukuyomi doesn't even like it protects you from dying to a very specific hand that system probably doesn't have here. And now the one card that is like the reason why you're kind of in this game is gonna get hit by knock, and that's another dark not hitting the grave, notably. So just stuck on all lights in grave, unable to summon any potential bricked chaos monsters in hand. And yeah, now your Suka is gone here, which so you can't even out like another Kaiku that came down or things that you've already done. You did get a lot of value out of the Tsukiyomi, but I feel like you could have held it maybe here to continue to protect, especially now the ring is gone too, and you're not in as precarious of a position. But exiled here. Okay, so we're just gonna run the widespread ruin into an exiled force. Oh, and if you had the widespread ruin, it makes setting Tsukuyomi even worse because you don't even need it to like block the damage here. Yeah, so running Suk into knock feels pretty bad. I guess it would have been nice if system popped it with the exiled and got it in grave, but that is not what's gonna come through. You do protect your life points here this turn, and you are up some cards here, which is nice. Um, but now one of the few cards that was doing things for you is gone. Ooh, we top deck Pot of Greed though, so hey, not too bad. Still had the old Trinity left in deck. See if they draw into anything good. Let's see what the plan is. Just gonna go set a monster pass. All right, you know, Knock and Exiled and Mystic Swordsman are all gone, so decent chance that this gets to resolve. We haven't seen any spies yet. We've only seen one of the three faiths. Haven't seen any Dekoichis, so definitely could be a lot of good stuff. System just gonna go with normal summon Zambira attack in here. Okay. And then we've got Ceasefire to maybe negate flip effects. Ooh, this would be huge if this is Zambira plus Ceasefire to get over Gravekeeper Spy is pretty cute. I like that. Because, you know, Zambira 2100 attack can beat over a single spy just fine, but then it gets powered down to 1900 and can't kill the other spy. But Ceasefire preventing spy from summoning out a friend such that Zambira can just beat over it, that's really cute. I like it. It is just a Dekoichi, though, but you do at least trade Ceasefire for essentially a card, because, you know, Ashes Spicy would have drawn anyway here. And so you trade it for a card and 1,000 damage, which is pretty relevant when your opponent is pretty low on life. Slow down their draws just a little bit. Zambira is going to go kill the Dekoichi. Power down to 1900. Not pressuring the opponent's life points, of course, because it can't attack directly, but preventing Ashes Spicy. Ooh, actually, I don't know about this one. I feel like Ashes Spicy is just going to win now. You just put a Dark Engrave, right? Yeah, you just attacked over the Dekoichi, put a Dark Engrave. I feel like the only reason why system isn't losing right now is because Ashes Spicy is bricked on Chaos Monsters. Like, that has to be the read, right? And then intentionally putting a Dark Monster in grave is just going to completely unbrick everything. And now they'll just be able to kind of do everything, right? Yeah, so yeah. Chaos Sorcerer comes down completely expectedly. Beat over the Zambira. Yeah, plenty of Darks in grave, so might as well just get the damage. And then you can set a monster as well to add a double threat to the board. And yeah, system, I feel like you're just completely out of this now. I mean, it's a tough call, right? You don't want to just not kill the set monster, because then it'll continue to wall out. But like with Ashes Spicy only at like 31 minus a little bit because you have Ceasefire, like maybe you just want to set up for an OTK. Maybe you don't even want to summon out Zambira until you could go for a kill, right? Because even if you summon Zambira, Ashes Spicy has crashed a Koichi into your monster to get a Dark Engrave and unbrick their hand. So a little bit unfortunate there for system, getting a little bit cute with the Ceasefire, which I like under different circumstances, but when the only thing that's keeping you in the game is the fact your opponent doesn't have any darks in grave, you got to be a little bit more careful than that. And looks like Ashes Spicy is in a really good spot here. Knock plus Snatch is game, though. Show me Knock plus Snatch. Show me. Blade Knight plus Snatch is pretty good. Blade Knight plus Snatch. Oh, man. Oh, is this game? Oh, that would be so insane if this was game. I would feel so bad for Ashes Spicy. Oh, no. Okay, yeah. Is it Gravekeeper Spy? It is Gravekeeper Spy. Okay. So Ashes Spicy's still in the game here, but getting your Sork snatched is a pretty big deal. We're gonna get Sork just beat over one. Or no, you want to go main phase 2, banish the spy so that there's no darks in grave. And then if Ashes Spicy wants to get a dark engrave, they need to crash in and, 800 damage when you're at 2100 is a significant chunk of your life points. You do get to go up 1,000 by Snatch, though, so you still probably do it. But the play here is definitely banish the spy mid phase 2. Yeah, so we're going to do that. Turning Sork to defense position, too. A little bit interesting, because they still have the crash play no matter what. But Snatch on Sork there is pretty strong, and any other monster except for Gravekeeper Spy there, I guess maybe Night Assailant, although we haven't seen any of those out of Ash, would have been game. So Spy coming through, resolving against Warrior this late into the game is quite nice. You are facing lethal. Well, no, actually, you're actually not facing lethal next turn because you're gonna go up 1,000 thanks to Snatch. Sork is gonna have to banish the spy or beat over the spy, and then Blade Knight can only deal 2,000. But Ashes Spicy has a nice full grip. No darks in grave, would have to crash if they want to go for a chaos play. Goes up to 3,100 off the Snatch seal. Yes, we're going to go for the crash play. And then main phase 2, slam down another Sork here to banish. What do you pick? You pick your own Sork, so Snatch Seal is gone. And now you stand alone Blade Knight versus Chaos Sorcerer plus a set monster. So system, Snatch was probably your biggest way of getting back in that game. Now it's been dealt with, and now surely Ashes Spicy has this in the bank, right? Just gonna go Blade Knight attack the set. It's another Gravekeeper Spy, so Spy number 3 coming through to wall stuff out. Yeah, now it's looking really bad for system. Even if you deal with the Sork, you have the Spy to wall you out. You already have a Ninja Grandmaster in grave. You just need BLS. Show me BLS. Show me Chaos Sorcerer. You got plenty of life points. You got time to draw it. But your Blade Knight's about to get banished here. Yep. And then just going to pass. We're going to go battle phase attacking with the spy. Okay. You just get a little bit of a clock there. And defense mode. Sork means you don't die to BLS, right? I think otherwise you would. Yeah, I guess 18 plus 7 is 25. So yeah, defense mode Sork there I think is good, because otherwise you don't die to top deck BLS. Back row here is nice as well. And system, pure top deck mode pretty much. Nobleman of Crossout on the new set, so preventing the Magician of Faith from coming through, but not exactly a play. You don't really want to be this reactive as the beatdown player, of course. And things are looking good for Ashes Spicy. Still Mirror Force in place. You don't want to get too aggro with your Sork, maybe, unless you have a way of clearing out the back row. We're going to potentially risk Mirror Force, though. Sakuretsu on the Sork. You have the Book of Moon to protect it. Okay. So, yeah. Going aggressive there with the Chaos Sorcerer is totally fine when you have the book to protect it against Sakuretsu or Mirror Force. So just trading them for each other, and you can still beat in for 12 with the GK Spy. And now system, you got another set monster to deal with. You top deck Pot of Greed, though, which is pretty nice. Show me the BLS. BLS plus Sork goes insane. Donzalug is okay. Running a Donzalug attack over the Gravekeeper Spy. Deal 200, rip out the hand, which is BLS. Ah! I mean, it's probably not going to matter. Because, Sork can just come through and banish and whatever. But that's kind of a feels bad moment, right? And then we're going to set a back row here as well. Torrential Tribute goes insane. Surely system's not going to do it. Surely. Surely not. Flip summon Sork. Banish Donzalug. Okay, totally fine. Set a monster pass. Not going to attack into a Saku or anything. Show me BLS. So Ashes Spicy not flipping up this set monster too is quite interesting. So not going to be a Dekoichi. Not going to be a Magician of Faith. So it could be Serpent. Could be Sangan. Most likely is what that is. System. Set a back row pass. This is dicey. We're going to flip someone to Koichi here from Ashes Spicy, playing into Torrential on potentially the new set. And it is Torrential out of system. Ooh! So going to blow up the board. Importantly, killing the Sorcerer. You're fine, you know, Dekoichi already replaced itself. And the set monster, yeah, as I said, it's either Sangan or Serpent, so that will replace itself either way. But blowing up the Chaos Sorcerer in a nice little 1-for-1 trade there is pretty nice. And System might not be out of this just yet. Ashes Spicy going to grab a Dekoichi again off of that Sangan, keeping in double Dekoichi against Warrior. So a little bit, you don't see that every day. Normally they get kind of trimmed down a little bit, but depends on the 55, of course. And then we're just going to go normal summon Dekoichi, start beating in. Okay. Show me BLS. Set a back row pass. System. Set a back row, no. Okay. Dekoichi is a clock. It's real. We got main phase 1 Dust Tornado on the old set, which hasn't flipped up for a while. It's a Scapegoat out of system. Okay. What is this deck, man? Is this just Goat Control with a Warrior package with like Rotas and stuff? I guess so. It's just like super aggro Goat Control. I guess you call it like Warrior Goat Control. That's pretty interesting though. The potentially singleton Scapegoat. I mean, we had a hint when we saw the creature swap earlier that made me go like, you know what I mean? Maybe think, okay, maybe you are playing a little Scapegoat technology. We do finally see it come through to protect your life points this late into the game. Ashes Spicy probably not expecting that. And that's going to buy System a ton of time to find any of the Chaos Monsters in their deck. A lot of good stuff for them to potentially draw. Upstart here out of Ashes Spicy. Yeah, you're not going to be dealing damage anytime soon, so that 1k life probably not going to matter. Rather have the card. Tokochi will clear out 1 token, but this is a lot of work for 1 train to do, right, guys? We're going to get set a back row, end phase Dust Tornado, pop it, though. It is Torrential Tribute, and now BLS's game. Show me it. Chaos Sorcerer, not game, but pretty close to game. We're going to get Sork, kill Dekoichi. Oh, and the other thing I didn't even notice, Ashes Spicy down to 4 cards in deck, so having to get a little bit aggressive with this Dekoichi, you probably couldn't afford to draw a card with the flip effect. You just have to go in for damage here. Yeah, so you've seen almost everything in your deck, and Scapegoat alone might have just walled you out long enough to just deck yourself out. But the top deck sort coming through probably to make it pretty much a done deal. There's still Snatch Steal left for Ashes Spicy, but yeah, I think System was just able to draw this game out just long enough, despite getting stabilized against. And like I said in game 1, these more, I mean, I guess it's clear that this isn't a Warrior list anymore, but it is kind of an interesting Warrior Goat Control hybrid where you can go aggro early game, apply a lot of pressure as Warrior, and then you still have Scapegoat, Chaos Sorcerer stuff to help you, you know, in the late game if you get stabilized against. And hey, it's working here in this match. So Ashes Spicy, oh, Tribe Infecting Virus is huge. That's insane. Oh, you can only blow up the Goat tokens or the Chaos Sorcerer, though. So you probably have to pick the Sork, unfortunately. You do get the Sinister, though, so you can blow up the rest of the stuff next turn for free. So Tribe kill the Sork. Beat down over a Goat token. BLS's game. Set a monster pass. Gonna recur this Serpent, blow up the Goat tokens. Can you do it as Ashes Spicy? Tribe, discard the Serpents, attack the set monster. It's a Mystic Tomato, dude. What is in this deck? What an holy! This is just like singleton fun, I guess. Man, what a crazy deck out of system here. Mystic Tomato gonna thin the deck a little bit, draw you closer to those Chaos Monsters. Can summon out a Sangan here? Yeah, totally fine. and that's just going to chill here and continue to wall out, and you only have to survive 2 more turns before Ashes Spicy gets decked out. So I think this is fine. Asura Priest, yeah, okay, GG. Top deck Asura Priest, beat over Tribe. Oh no, you live on 100 life. You live on 100 life. Asura Priest, sorry guys. Asura Priest kills Tribe, drops him down to 100 or 1100. Sangan hits in for 1000. Ashes Spicy is at 100 life points. 2 cards in deck. Sinister Serpent in grave. Unknown card in hand. What is the play? Can you do anything? Delinquent? No. Okay. Yep. Show the hand. Yeah. Not anything. Oh. Yeah, so I guess. Yeah, just saying, okay, I don't have enough damage left in deck to beat you. You could go snatch the Sangan, turn it to defense to block the Asura Priest, but then system's just gaining 1,000 life a turn off the Snatch Steal, and it's just going to be GG. Serpent, if you set it, Asura Priest beats over it, Sangan hits for game. And wow, what a game. What a match. 2-1 system on this like insane warrior chaos goat control list. It's going to take it down 2-1. I thought it was just warrior the first 2 games, right? They just played solid aggro stuff, took down a game, lost a game, in pretty typical warrior versus what ended up being chaos control stuff here versus Ashes Spicy. But game 3, an absolute marathon. And yeah, Ashes Spicy just super bricked. I thought system threw when they put a Dark Engrave to allow Ashes Spicy to unbrick their hand and summon out their chaos stuff, but just couldn't find the win quick enough. Ended up getting Torrential Tribute, wiped their board, and just didn't have enough damage to close out the game at the end of it, with their BLS getting ripped out by, I think that was Donzalug, right? Just the Randy Donzalug out of system, ripping out BLS. Oh, man. What a crazy match, guys. Hope you all enjoyed that one. I certainly did. Super back and forth. Super fun to watch. Interesting decks out of both players here as well. So really, really solid GOAT format action for everyone today. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you all next time. Hit me up with your replays if you want me to review them potentially. But if not, see you around.